In the Lesson 1-5 example, Where Do Immigrants Live?, we'll explore how to interpret a histogram. Use the data table and the histograms to answer these questions. What percent of states have less than 10% foreign-born residents? Describe the shapes of the two graphs, and determine which state is the possible outlier in the right-hand graph. For Part A, what percent of states have less than 10% foreign-born residents, we'll want to refer to the frequency table in a previous example. In this table, we can see that the intervals are grouped in categories of 5, from 0 to just under 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, and so on. Because we're looking for the percent of states that have less than 10% foreign-born residents, we'll look at the two intervals that cover 0 to 5 and 5 to 10. There are 19 states that have between 0 and 5% foreign-born residents, and 15 states that have between 5 and 10% foreign-born residents. Therefore, 19 plus 15, or 34, out of the 50 states, which is 68%, have less than 10% foreign-born residents. To describe the shapes of the two graphs, we'll want to look at the overall shape, whether it's symmetric or skewed, indicate any major peaks, as well as any gaps in the graphs. For the graph on the left, we note that this histogram with intervals of width 5 is skewed to the right. Notice the right-hand side is longer than the left side, and it has a single peak in the 0 to 5% interval. Likewise, the graph with intervals of width 2.5 is skewed to the right. However, this one has two peaks, one in the 2.5 to 5% interval, and then another in the 12.5 to 15% interval. This graph also has a gap between 22.5% and 25%. Which state is the possible outlier in that right-hand graph? Well, to determine that, we note that this percent has to be greater than 25. So looking at our original data table, we'll want to search for a percent greater than 25. And we see that we do indeed have one here in the state of California. So California, with about 27.1% foreign-born residents, is our outlier. For additional practice interpreting histograms, try exercise 5.